Welcome back, everyone. Taking a look now at how the community is dealing with the events from yesterday in Washington. Joining us again this morning is Julie Hanks with Wasatch Family Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Unfortunately, we wish the circumstances were brighter and we had better news to report, but this is something that the entire community is dealing with. We talked with one of Susan Powell's closest friends, Kirsty Hallowell, and how those who knew those boys are just in so much grief right now. And then the community beyond that, the entire state and beyond, has been following this case for 2 years now. To have this kind of conclusion, it's not easy. It is not easy.
I think this will be one of those stories where everybody will remember where they were when they heard the news. You know, it's one of those kind of situations that you don't forget. You'll remember when you heard and what your response was for a long time. It's just so heartbreaking.
And something that's obviously relatively new over the last few years is social media. It can be a very helpful tool.
Yeah.
What are the best ways, within the online community to really, go through this healing process and deal with your emotions?
Yeah. Well, I've noticed on some of the online forums there's kind of some confrontation. Some people hate Josh Powell. Some people say he's mentally ill. I feel sorry for him. I think the best thing we can do as a community is to allow for all different kinds of responses and not fight with each other about it, like who's right, who's wrong. I mean, it's a tragedy, and everyone's going to have different responses, and to allow room for that and to really be there to support each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of frustration. Some people upset that the boys were even allowed to go and that he had visitation rights. Some people frustrated with the investigation, that perhaps charges could have been filed sooner, that would have of course come between Josh having any visitation rights. All of those things being expressed right now. And we've got some questions on Facebook that we want to ask or actually get answered from you. This is from Dusty, and Dusty says, I work at a high school and today is bound to be a rough day for a lot of our kids. How can we handle their questions, fears, and concerns?
I think that's a great question. If the school has a social worker or a school psychologist, I think it would be great to have, maybe some time during lunch or a break time where people can come in and actually process how they're feeling, or for teachers to take a few moments and just acknowledge what has happened, and have an open forum for kids to just talk about it. It's going to be hard for those kids who are distraught to focus unless they have room to really talk about what's on their minds.
And what about parents? How should they approach, or how can they approach this in a healthy manner with their children and talk about this?
I think it really depends on the age of the child, Scott. Really young children, I would shield them from, I wouldn't let them watch this over and over again. But with a little bit older children who are going to be exposed to the story, have them, talk about how they feel, talk about and comfort them that you're protected, that this isn't going to happen to you. And I just think everybody feels so vulnerable because this family could have been our next door neighbor or our best friend, and it just really touches a tender place. These are innocent children who are murdered. It's heart-wrenching.
Well, Julie, we appreciate you stopping by, and we appreciate all your comments as well, and continue to weigh in on our KSL5 HD Facebook page. And again, we know this is going to be something we'll be dealing with for quite some time.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Let's quickly